This video is called Pay Now or Pay Later. I go through a lot of the same struggles that you go through in your small business, and being self-employed isn't easy because you're wearing many hats all the time. And when I say pay now or pay later, what I mean by that is, catch my breath. When you're working on a job and you notice something as simple as your hand pruners are all gunked up and you should clean them for 5 minutes before working, it's gonna bite you in the ass if you don't. If you're on a job and you notice that you trimmed something but there's that one piece that's so hard to get and you're so exhausted and fed up that you're like, I'll just get that next time, right? Well, that will bite you in the ass too. It's those little tiny things that will bite you so hard when you're run down, when you're tired, when you're giving it your best and you're still not making it work. All these things will bite you. Say you've got cheap, off-brand, broken down equipment that won't start for you. Your weed whip won't start and you're pulling it on every job. And you're like, when I get off work, I'm fixing this thing, dude. Gotta fix it. And then as soon as you get off work, a million things jump on your plate that are more important than fixing the weed whip. But maybe you don't have money to take it to a mechanic, or you don't have money to buy the brand new $350, trimmer, right? So you're stuck dealing with these repetitive issues that keep biting you. And you're feeling the sting and you're falling on your sword, and it's forcing you to either, open or close. And every moment by moment, you're either opening to all that is, or you're closing and putting your head in the sand. And it's this constant battlefield of the mind and the emotions and of the world. It's real-time feedback, and that's what I really appreciate about being in a small business. It's because when you fuck up, everything is fucked up in that moment. Pardon my French. I want to learn how to stop cussing in the videos. Because I'll watch them back and I'm like, ugh. But I'm just trying to be real here. Everything is a mirror reflection, moment by moment. And sometimes you can give your best and you thought you did your best and you still fail and you don't follow through and you still mess up and you look like a jackass, right? That's hard, and you have to fall on your sword and keep manning up and manning up and manning up and manning up in every way, shape, and form nonstop until infinity. It never ends. It's never going to end. There's never going to be a day where you're like, my life is gravy. That's all kind of a facade. And I believe that's the grand irony about being human, about being in this body and living this life, is that you got to proverbially pick up your cross, carry it all the way up that mountain, and you can't put it down. Sometimes this type of spiritual stuff is a way to metaphorically talk about it. I look at some of my old lawn care and landscaping bosses. I used to ask them, how come you don't just expand? Why are you out here working? Why don't you, have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 crews? And they look at me and they would just get frustrated because they'd be thinking the same exact thing in their mind. I know, I've been trying to expand this thing for years, and it's not as easy as it might seem when you write it down on paper. There's a lot of growing and a lot of skills and a lot of stuff that we might not be ready for to take on that amount of responsibility. And if we do, what could happen is we could get ourselves in a position where now we're running behind the 8 ball, going bankrupt in other areas of our life, bankrupt on our sleep, bankrupt in our relationships, bankrupt in our emotions. And I believe when people talk about balance is bogus, you know what I mean? But I think what that really might mean is get in where you fit in and know your boundaries, and biting off more than you could chew, only to the point where it propels you forward to be the best that you could be, but not to the point where you're failing other people and you're failing on a grand scale where you're you know what I mean, being hubris. And that's where being humble comes in as well. And it's those moments of when we have these little small failures that break us down and make us, want to cry as a grown man or a grown woman, that really humble us and make us start thanking the people around us. That's when you pick up your dog and you hug them. It's when you run up to the person you love, or you call that friend and you say, you know what, man, we haven't talked in a while, but I want to let you know that, I really care about you and I hope all is well. That's when you become very kind, because now you are humbled. And I believe that's the secret, it comes from that place. We can get caught up in the trap of running and being obsessed with what we don't have, and upset and mad at ourselves and feeling like a failure of what we don't have. But really, look at what we do have. Abundance is all around us at all times. So it is a catch-22, and I can hear the birds chirping. The sun is shining. It might rain, but through the storm, the sun will shine again. And then one more thing, you ever take on a small job? You quote a little job. Oh, it's a little job, we'll bang it out in 3 hours, a few $100. And then you get on the job and you realize, this is a big job. I'll save that for a different video. All right, cool. I wish you the best. I'm gonna get back to work. Peace out.